Hey everybody, this is Jaime.Phillips with the Johnson Group by EXP here in Richmond Hill, right outside the Savannah area. And for those of you that are new here in the channel, this is going to be about real estate. So if you're not interested in real estate, then I encourage you to keep on scrolling. But if you want to learn a few things here and there, because someday we're all going to do real estate, please feel free to stay. So today, the focus of my video is going to be about sellers and their property, okay? If you are selling or planning to sell a home, there are a few things that you need to know and understand. Let's talk about the nature of property, okay? There is a reason I'm bringing this up. We'll get there in a moment, but there is a reason behind all this, and I'm going to talk about today, and specifically the definitions of property. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to divide property into two categories, okay? One is personal property, and the other one is real property, which is real estate in this case, okay? So let's talk about what is personal property. Personal property is distinguished by mobility, okay? So these are things that you can move, that the seller can take and put in a van on moving day when he's leaving the house. To give you a quick example, that will be such as furniture, clothes, tools, etc. And then we have real property, which for this video is real estate, which consists of the land and the things attached permanently by man to that land, okay? In this case, we're talking about buildings, houses, trees. You get the point, okay? So now that you know what property is and how it's described legally, let's talk about personal property. See, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this, what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to run you through. Actually, no, I was going to do that, but I'm going to change my mind because another video will be too long. I'm not going to run you through all the things that define personal property, but I'm going to go to the one where I'm lately starting to see a trend or an issue per se, okay? Which is the most common one. Today, we're going to talk about fixtures. What is a fixture? A property that was once personal, but now is real property. For example, a built-in kitchen, ceiling fans, plumbing fixtures, let's say ceiling fans, a storage shed. That's a good one, okay? It's very important that you all remember this, especially when you're about to put your house in the market. Okay, when you're going to put your house in the market, your realtor or myself in this case will talk with you, sit down. There's a form that you need to fill out, which is called the seller's disclosure statement form. Okay, and on this you're going to describe everything in your house. For example, what I'm getting at is like things like the roof was replaced 2 years ago. The HVAC was serviced twice a year for the last 3 years after we placed a new one, for example, things like that. But it also is going to talk about the defects in your home and appliances and the things that you're going to leave behind. So I'm going to use a great example, okay? So you had this beautiful chandelier in your dining room that your poor great-grandmother brought back from the old country, and she had to hide it under a hat when she crossed the ocean to get over here, and now it's sitting in your dining room. So you don't want to part ways with this, okay? But it is so pretty that when you went to do the listing pictures for your home, the chandelier is there, okay? Because it gives it it looks better, right? And comes moving day, you decide that, no, God forbid, I cannot forget my poor great-grandmother's chandelier here. So I'm going to replace it with a Walmart $29.99 extension cord with a light bulb, a little giant hole in the ceiling, and think that you are cool with this, and that the potential buyer is going to be cool with this. I got news for you. No, he or she, they're definitely not going to be cool with that, okay? And a lot of people make this mistake when they fill this form. You have to disclose what you're taking and what you're leaving. In a lot of cases, if it applies, you want to replace that item with something else, and you want to specify on this form. but you cannot just go willy-nilly and take it away after contracts have been signed, especially this form. You're going to sign this form, this disclosure, and your potential buyer is going to sign it too. So last time I checked, when you sign a document agreeing, both parties are agreeing to a specific thing, I believe that's called a contract. Okay? So if you remove any of these items, that is the understanding that they're going to be there after you went under contract, you are on something that is called breach of contract. So now your buyer might not want to buy the house anymore. Okay, so you might end up even losing the earnest money and all the time that you put waiting to sell the house, and now you're gonna have to do it all over again because you made a decision that you shouldn't make. Okay, this can be prevented. All right, so make sure you pay attention to those forms. Don't come out by selling day and out of the blue you decide to move the shed that you didn't disclose anything about it. So that could be a problem too. That one happens a lot. Actually, that kind of happened to me a long time ago. All right, so now that you know all these things, please, if you have any questions, just let us know and I'll be more than happy to help you with that. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel or follow me, either or. And you have to excuse me for some of the background noise, but I decided to make the video outside there because it's kind of pretty. I live in coastal Georgia. It's not humid yet, so I wanted to be outside. So I apologize for that. But other than that, if you have any questions, please just let me know, and you all have a great day.